Hey everyone, it's Steven from Toastamac. Back in September, I was introduced to a term that, as embarrassing as it is to admit, I never even heard about before, but it is worth knowing. Today, we will go over what ableism is, how to stop it, and then after that, I have an important message for you in regards to my videos, so please, stick around to the end. Ableism is defined as discrimination or prejudice against individuals with disabilities. As the name suggests, it's a belief that favors those who are able over those who may not be, thinking that those with disabilities are somehow inferior or less valuable, that their lives are somehow less significant. Some examples of ableism are blatantly obvious, such as a group of children bullying a disabled child, a facility not offering ramps for those on a wheelchair, not being offered a job opportunity or not even the same pay rate as everybody else because of a disability, or even something as simple as asking invasive questions about someone's disability. Other examples might not be so easy to spot, as ableism can have more than one face. For instance, ableism can come in the form of microaggressions, where we may have this ableist attitude without even realizing it. When we look at an individual and think they might not be capable of something, or that they're hiding or lying about their limits, or that they may be seen as childlike, immature, or even abnormal, all of this can count as ableism, since we are making assumptions about an individual before we even get to know them. Microaggressions can also take the form of phrases like "the blind leading the blind," "fell on deaf ears," or "this triggers my OCD." While we may not mean any harm in these phrases, depending on the circumstances and the people around us, they can still be very hurtful. The other form that ableism can take is internalized ableism, when we apply the beliefs and thoughts that society has on a disability onto ourselves. Now, let me be clear. If you are struggling with internalized ableism right now, that doesn't mean you're a bad person. It just means that you have a voice in your head saying you're not good enough or you don't deserve the support you're getting, which is not true. The most common form of internalized ableism is masking, when we pretend to be more quote-unquote normal for society, hiding away our true selves in order to meet society's expectations. We can go over more of this in a future video. For now, we know what ableism is. It has more than one face, it's a problem we still deal with to this day, and it can have numerous effects on us. I'm not just talking about being robbed of the same opportunity as everybody else. I'm also talking about having difficulties with making friends and fitting in, and in many cases, having difficulty with finding value in ourselves. If you want to learn how to stop ableism, then good news, you're already on the first step. Before we can solve a problem, we need to acknowledge what the problem is. And since we've been learning about what ableism is and the forms it can take, we are now ready for the next set of steps. The next one being, when you're speaking to someone with a disability, don't forget to treat them as a person. What do I mean by that? Just because someone has a physical disability or a developmental disability or a different kind of disability, that doesn't make us less human than the others. It doesn't automatically make us an object of pity. No, it just means that we go through life differently. You go through life differently, and I go through life differently. So be sure to talk to them as you would anybody else. Treat them as equals, and don't forget to get to know them for who they are, not just what they have. While you're at it, be mindful of your actions and how they can affect those around you. We've already gone over one example with the phrases like blind leading the blind or fell on deaf ears. If what you're going to say is going to cause harm, insult, or even shame to the people you're talking with, it's probably best not to say it at all. Also, If you know someone has a disability and you don't, or if you have a different kind of disability, don't assume that you always know more than they do. We each go through life differently, and odds are pretty good that the other people may know things that you don't. And being mindful doesn't necessarily have to start at the actual meetup. You can actually show it before the meetup even begins, during the planning phase. When you're planning a get-together with a group of people and you know one or two people or more has a disability, be sure you choose a location or time that is A, accessible to everybody, and B, something that everybody can enjoy. By taking these extra steps, you can show that you care about everybody in the group and you want every single one of them to have a good time. Let's say you want to learn more about someone's disability, but you're worried that your questions might be a bit too invasive. Well, there's nothing stopping you from doing research on your own time. Look at various articles from certified websites, listen to podcasts featuring people living with this disability, watch content creators covering this topic, or look at local community events with people living with the disability as well. Throw out the fishing net, broaden your horizon, learn as much as you can from numerous sources. And if by the end of all this you still have questions, you can ask the individual if they feel comfortable talking about it. Be sure to respect their answer because at the end of the day, it's up to them to decide whether or not to disclose or talk about their disability, not you. As for those who are struggling with internalized ableism, the best piece of advice I can give you is, see if you can find a new crowd. If those around you cannot find your value, then maybe it's time to find some new people that can. You can search for local community events or get-togethers coming up. You can search for online groups to chat with, or even search for a club or organization to join. And it doesn't necessarily have to be about your disability if you don't want it to. It could be about a certain interest that you have. Maybe something to do with robotics, or maybe music, or gaming, or engineering for that matter, or even sports. Something that interests you and somewhere that you can find people with the same interest as you. When we meet new people, it doesn't just raise the chances of making a new friend or two. We can often find different parts of ourselves, maybe parts of us that we didn't even know was there. Kind of similar to looking at various mirrors in a room. And if we find the right people, they can help us find the best part of ourselves. The part of ourselves that we can be happy and be proud of. So go out there, meet new people, take chances. And if no one else has told you this yet, I will tell you this. You are worth the effort. And now that we've gone over this subject, it's time to address a certain elephant in the room. For those who have been watching my content for a while, you know I've done videos like understanding body language, how to improve focus, and why eye contact is important. However, upon learning about what ableism is, one of my worries that came up is if someone would look at some of these videos and see them as examples of ableism. So, I want to take a moment to get ahead of the curve and address this right now. Do I support ableism? The short answer is no. For the long answer, as a content creator, my role is to give advice and information the best way I can, and sprinkle in some fun whenever I'm able to. But it is not my place to tell you how you should live your life, nor are these videos mandatory to watch. It's not like if you don't watch these videos, you're going to fail. No, not at all. The wonderful thing about life is that there is not just one solution. There is not just one path. There are as many paths in life as there are different people. So, if you watch my videos, if you enjoy what you see, and if you gain something of value from this, awesome, great. That means I've done my job. But if you don't think these videos are for you, that's okay too. Maybe there's something else you want to watch or something else you want to learn. Ultimately, I just want Toastamac to be a place where people can get answers to their questions and at the end of the day, have a good time. No more, no less. With that, we've come to the end of the video. I'm sorry things had to take a more serious turn this time, but we'll go over something more fun in the next autism video. Promise. In the meantime, if you want to share your experience with ableism, or if you want to share a piece of advice that I didn't have in this video, tell us about it in the comments section below. I'd love to hear from you. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. If you enjoy what you see, consider liking and subscribing to Toastamac and clicking the bell icon to stay up to date in our latest videos. Also, don't forget, Friday evenings we have our live streams on the YouTube channel as well. So if you got time, come hang out with me. Until the next video or live stream, see you later.